Hi, hello everybody. Welcome back to another session on Gen AI for data analytics using Excel. So today what we'll do is we'll speak about slightly more complex topics in Excel, that is basically the lookup functions and how we can use ChatGPT to write those complex formulas for us without us having to struggle much. So first I'll give you a quick overview of the lookup functions. Okay, we'll not go to VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. They are not so important given that we have XLOOKUP now. So if the version of Excel that you're using supports XLOOKUP, then you can very well use XLOOKUP. You can forget about V and HLOOKUP. So I'll not be spending much time on that. I'll directly start off with XLOOKUP and we will see how we can make ChatGPT write those lookup functions on our behalf. Okay, we just provide the data and the correct prompt. Okay, it's all about how you're giving the prompt to the tool, and we'll see how we can get the output. Okay, so I have a file with me. Let me show you the data. We'll do XLOOKUP here. Okay, so I have coffee chain data. Okay, and this data is present inside a table. Now how do you verify whether the data is inside the table? Is when you click inside the table, if you're getting this table context ribbon, right? In case you're seeing this table context ribbon, that means your data is stored in a tabular format. That means the data here is present in a tabular format. It is a table. That is how I know it's a table. And I have a small area that I already prepared over here. Okay, so based on whatever might be the name of the product selected by the end user, user will choose an item here and we need to get all the information about that particular line item or about that particular product from the table. Okay, here I've taken very small data, but imagine if you have thousands of records of data and whichever product is selected, we need the complete information about that product. How do we do it? So we ideally use lookup functions for such requirements. I need to lookup means to search. Okay, when you say lookup, it means nothing but to search for something. So I need to search for the member entered here. Where am I supposed to search for it? In this column which contains the list of products. And upon identifying it, I want to get the complete information pertaining to it. Okay. So if I have to manually build a formula for this purpose, I would prefer using XLOOKUP. And the syntax of lookup function XLOOKUP is what is the lookup value? Okay, lookup value is basically what are you trying to search for? Okay, so when we say lookup value, it represents, you're supposed to give what are you looking for? What is it that you're searching for? Okay, lookup value. What is it that you're searching for? Then lookup array. Okay, let me do it like this. XLOOKUP syntax is first the lookup value, then the lookup array, and then the return array. Okay. And then if at all whatever you're searching for is not found, then what would you like to do? If not found, what kind of an error message or what is it that you want to tell to the user when even it's not found? And then we have the search. So how do you want search mode? Okay. Actually, I think first we have the match mode and then we have the search mode. Match mode, and there is something called as the search mode. So in the syntax of an Excel formula, whichever arguments are enclosed in square brackets like this. So you see these three arguments, all the inputs that you provide inside the formula are called arguments. They are called arguments. Okay. And whichever arguments are given in square brackets, they are optional. It is not compulsory to provide an input over there. So lookup value, lookup array, and return array are the mandatory inputs. You need to provide them. If not found, what would you like to do? What should be the match mode? So here there are multiple options. You can look for an exact match. You could also look for an approximate match. Okay, whether you are looking for an exact match, exactly that particular product or item, or an approximate match, something nearby to it. And then search mode, whether you want to search from the top to the bottom, or you want the search to happen from the bottom to the top. Okay, would you like to first sort your data and then search it? All such options you can provide here. If you don't give anything under if not found, no problem. If something is not found, it will give you NA error. Match mode by default, it will take, I think, approximate match. So when you need an exact match, you better mention that it is exact match. Search mode by default will go from top to bottom. Top to bottom of the data, it will search by default. So lookup value in this means what are you searching for? Lookup array is where to search for it. Where are you searching for that particular member? What are you searching? Then where are you searching for it? And the return array is what would you like to pull back? It is basically the pullback value. What is it that you're trying to retrieve? What do you want to retrieve? Upon searching, when you find that member, what do you want to pull back? Or what is it that you would like to retrieve or return from that search? Okay. So, based on this brief idea about how the lookup function works, if I were to write a lookup function to get the data, the product type, to get the product type corresponding to the product lemon, which is herbal tea, how to do that? So is equal to x lookup, and then I will open the bracket. First is the lookup value. Lookup value is what? What are you searching for? I am searching for lemon. This member given in the cell H1 is what I am searching for. What are you searching for? I am searching for lemon. Where to search for lemon? Okay, you want me to search for lemon, but where am I supposed to search for it? Right? That's the next question. You want me to search for lemon, but where am I supposed to search for it? Search for it in column E. Search for it in column E. You could even choose the range of values like that. Because this is inside a table with the name CC, you can see the column name has appeared. You could choose like this along with the header. Okay, so where to search for it? Search for it in column E. Okay, then what do you want to obtain? So when I search for lemon in column E and when I find it, what is it that you want me to pull back, retrieve, return? I want to pull back the product type corresponding to it, right? So the return array is column A, which contains the product type. If not found, we can say not found. Okay, or we can say check the product spelling. Okay, maybe the product is incorrect. So some sort of a message you could pass if not found. But this is optional as I told you, which means if I do not want to give any error message here, I could simply put a comma to skip that argument. Whichever argument comes in square brackets is optional. If you might want to give some output, you can. Suppose if it is not found, then you want to send a meaningful message to the end user. Come up with a meaningful message that name is incorrect or verify that the product name is proper, something like that. But I don't want to give anything here. So how do I skip an argument? By just putting a comma. The next thing is match mode. Exact match. We need to look for that member, identify that member exactly, not something near similar to it. Right? I need to identify lemon exactly the word lemon. So I'll go with 0. Search mode, as I told you, goes from first to last by default. Last to first, if you want, you can put the number as -1 over there. Binary search, if you give 2 here, what will happen? It will first sort the data in ascending order and then it will do the search. If you give -2, it will first sort the data in descending order and then perform the search. Now, I'm not mentioning anything over there. So when we do not mention anything, it takes the default. The default is to go from top to bottom. Okay. Once this is done, you can see it has pulled back herbal tea for me. That herbal tea is the product type corresponding to lemon. What if I change this to something else? Darjeeling is tea. Latte is espresso. Amaretto is coffee. You see how we're getting the correct response for whatever member is selected. So for this, first of all, I need to have an understanding of how the lookup function works. If you know nothing about lookup functions, if you do not know the concept of lookup, then you may not even know that you should use lookup for this purpose. Getting it? AI is only there to help us improve our productivity. It is not something that will do the work on your behalf. You need to know how to do things, and then you can take the help of AI to increase the productivity. Now, rather than writing the formula manually, can I use AI to generate this formula for me? Right? Is it possible that I could simply use AI and make ChatGPT write the XLOOKUP functions or the formulas for me for all of those items? I did it only for product type, but I need it for all of them, right? So that's what we'll do now. Let me take this data. I'll take that file and put it in the ChatGPT tool. So as long as you know how the function works, as long as you know which function to use and all that, you can use it. I've uploaded the file here. Now I need to give the prompt. So what is the prompt? The prompt is I will tell ChatGPT to use XLOOKUP function and write the formulas to fetch product type, product line, profit and sales corresponding to the product mentioned in cell H1, correct? So if you look at this data, I'm asking it to bring me the product type, product line, profit and sales corresponding to the product that is mentioned in H1. In the index and match sheet. So the name of that sheet is index and match worksheet, because there are multiple worksheets, right? I think even if you don't mention so and so worksheet, it will identify based on the column names that we have provided. But the more clearer we are with the prompt, the better. If you're not someone who likes to type everything, you also have this audio button, right? So you just click on that audio button and you tell it what to do. You can narrate the instruction. You can tell what is the instruction, and then it will automatically generate the prompt for you based on your instruction and fetch the data. So this is my instruction or my prompt. I think it is pretty clear that it needs to write the formula to fetch all of these details corresponding to the product that is mentioned in cell H1 in the index and match worksheet. So yeah, it has taken the correct index and match worksheet from that particular file. Now look at that. In this particular sheet, it is saying these are the columns present. Then you have a lookup table starting at column F where the product is mentioned in H1, correct? Starting from here, we have another area where the product is mentioned in H1. Now, we need to fetch these details for the product in cell H1 using the XLOOKUP function. So it understood the instruction, it identified the columns, it knows that the input is in cell H1, everything it understood. And now it has even built the formula for us. Look at that. It has even built the formula for us. So all I need to do is copy this formula. For product type, this is the formula given. I will go there and paste it over there. See, that formula I copied and pasted it here and it's able to fetch me the data. Now product line, I'll simply copy the formula, paste it over there, enter, look at that. I'll copy the formula for profit, copy, go to Excel, paste it over here, and the profit corresponding to that item. See, 4890. And finally, I'm going to copy the formula for sales, copied, paste it here, and done. Right? I didn't have to do anything at all manually. I know that when the user mentions the name of the product here, we need to come up with the details. So using ChatGPT, by giving this as input, I got my responses. It built the formula for me. ChatGPT went ahead and built the formula. Now over here, if there is anything else that you might want to include, you want to tweak the formula, you want to add more details into the formula, you can very well do it. But to verify that what ChatGPT has done is actually correct, you need to know how the formula works. You need to know what each argument inside the formula represents. Okay, now let me give it another instruction. So it's saying that, okay, this is where your product is, this is where your column is, and I have taken this as the return columns. Okay. Do you want, see, because maybe I named it as index and match, it is asking me, do you want to write these formulas directly in your Excel so that you can download download and test immediately. So if you want, you can say yes, and we can get an updated version of this Excel sheet with the formulas already in it. I copied them, isn't it? From here, I copied them and I pasted here. Instead, I could simply ask it to create a downloadable file and my job done. Here, I have a different question. I'll say, do the same task using index, using the index function and the match function. Do the same task, but instead of using XLOOKUP, I'm asking it to use something called as index and match. Now, what is index and match? You could get the same information using a different method. Suppose XLOOKUP is not supported on the version of Excel that you're using. Okay, suppose. Then how will you obtain the details? Then another alternative that we have is a function called as index and a function called as match can be used. Okay, so the syntax of index function is array, row number, column number. Array, then the row number and the column number. And the syntax of the match function is lookup value, lookup array, match type. Lookup value is what? What are you searching for? Lookup array is where are you searching for it? Match type, either go with an exact match or an approximate match depending on your requirement, you can choose. So lookup value is there. For example, I have to search for this. Lookup arrays, where are you trying to search for? I'm searching in column E. I want to go with an exact match. Now, what is it going to return? Isn't it? What is it going to return? Because there is no return array in this formula. I'm asking it to search for that product in that column and then give me what? Search for the product in that column and give me what? It is supposed to, what match does is, it gives you the position of the member. Match gives you the position of the member in the array. Again, what does match do? It will give you the position of the member in the array. Which means when I say match the product that is given here in this column, then it is returning the position of that member. It is saying if you're going to search from the very beginning, then this product decaf espresso is in the ninth place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I think sorry, eighth place, right? It gave 8. It is in the eighth position. Suppose I change this because the first one is the name of the column, right? Product. So I'll say search over here. Search over here. Then it will say 7. Because if I start from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is where decaf espresso is. So match will return the position of the member in the array. Okay. Match is a function that returns the position of the member in the array. And what does index do? What is the syntax of index? Syntax of index is array and row number. Array and the row number. And along with that, if you want, we can mention the column number also, but that's optional, depending on what you're looking for. Now, what array is this? I showed you the XLOOKUP formula. You saw words like lookup array and return array. Lookup arrays, where are you searching for it? Return arrays, what is it that you want to obtain? In the match function also, it is lookup value and lookup array. It is returning the position. Here, it is simply saying array. Now, remember one thing. In Excel, in any formula, in the syntax of any formula, if you're seeing just the word array, you will come across multiple words like that. Okay. There's something called as I told you, we have something called as the lookup array. What are you, where to search? Return array. What are you trying to pull back or retrieve? There's also something called as table array. Okay, the entire table where you're searching for it. So each of them has a purpose, but in certain formulas, like in the index formula, there's something called as filter function. In that formula, you will only see the word array there. So when I say just array, is it the lookup array that I'm talking about? Or is it the return array that I'm talking about? Or is it the table array that I'm talking about? When you see only the word array, most often it is the return array. What are you trying to pull back? What are you trying to obtain? After searching, when you find the member, what is it that you would like to obtain from there? Okay, array is most often the return array. So I want ChatGPT to build a formula for me using the index and match functions, using the index and match function combination to determine all of this detail. Okay, so if I were to write the formula myself, it will be like this. Array is the return array, which is basically this column. And which row number decaf espresso over here is in the seventh row. As of now, I could say bring me the data from the seventh row. It is espresso. However, what if this changes? What if someone changes this to amaretto? Then this has to change to coffee, right? Amaretto is not in the seventh position. It is in the first position. So I'll have to change it to 1 and it is going to retrieve the data. So this should become dynamic, isn't it? This should become dynamic. The row number should be dynamically decided based on what is the product here. The row number should be dynamically decided whether you have to fetch data from the first row or the seventh row or the 10th row. It should change dynamically based on which product is mentioned here. So to fetch the position of the member dynamically, we can use the match function. Match this value over here. And we know that it returns with exact match, it returns the position of the member in the array. So manually, if I were to build a formula, this is how I will build it. Okay, return the product type from whatever row matches that particular product. But I want to take the help of ChatGPT for this. So let us not struggle so much. Let me simply go to ChatGPT and tell, could you do the same task using index and match? I made a spelling mistake. Okay, let's see. Same task. Okay, it understood. So it's telling lookup value H1, that is your product name. Product is present in column E. Column A has the row type, product type. Column B has the product line. Column C has profit and column D has sales. And there. This is going to be your formula with index and match. So like I did earlier, I could copy each of them, right? And I could paste each of the formulas over here and get the output. Wait, for this it should be giving coffee. Match in column A, match H1. Oh, sorry. It is matching H1, right? Because it was the previous instruction. So I'll keep the same, it is matching in H1. So I should say here that it has to take the value from H10. All right, fine, no problem. We'll change it over here, right? You can see coffee. So when I change it over here, just for your understanding, it is referencing here, okay? So we're going to get it. So I could copy each of them. I could copy each of them like that. Copy the formula for product line, paste it. And I'm just going to copy the formula for profit, paste it. I'm going to copy the formula for sales and paste it. Now, instead of copying everything manually like this, what else could we do? You can simply ask it to give me a ready to download XLSX file. Do you want to insert both this and this into the Excel file in the correct cells and give you a ready to download Excel? Yes. Let's see. Yes. So I could click on it, it will get downloaded, it will get saved with the formulas. The file is ready. So along with all the formulas imported, look at that. With index and match, it has put all the formulas imported with index and match. Here there's a little problem. So I'll do one thing. I'll just copy this and paste. Okay, just copy paste is done. So rest of them have come. And formatting also, I will copy this formatting and put it there. Done. Okay, so downloadable form of the file also we got. Otherwise, we can simply copy the formulas and paste it here. So one of the most important things that you will be doing in Excel, one thing is pivot tables creation that I showed you on the first day itself. Second thing is charts creation, which we saw yesterday. And the next thing is this lookups, okay, which also you can use extensively. You will generally use it extensively in real time. But now with the help of ChatGPT, you don't have to struggle much to write the formula. You just provide the file as the input to Excel and it will write the formula for you. Just make sure that the prompt that you give is crystal clear. You specify the correct column names, correct sheet names, give the correct cell references so that it will not get confused. Okay. Now the same worksheet, I have another requirement here. This time it is a two-way lookup. Earlier it was simple. Directly look up for the value and retrieve something. This is a two-way lookup. When I say two-way lookup, I will mention the name of the product and I will also mention the quarter. Okay, for the given product, corresponding to the given quarter. For this product, for instance, decaf Irish cream, from quarter four of decaf Irish cream, it is supposed to fetch me the data. Means it has to retrieve the data by performing a two-way lookup. First, you go down and identify the product, then you go across and identify the quarter, and then you bring the data from the intersection of that product and that quarter, intersection of that column and that row. Okay, it is not as simple, right? It's not just go vertically down, search for the member and get the corresponding data. No, you go vertically down and then you move horizontally across to identify the quarter and then fetch the data. So this is a little complex. Let's see whether ChatGPT will be able to do this or not. It's slightly complex. So if I were to do it manually, how will I do it? X lookup I'm using. Lookup values, let's say I wanted to search for that product first, decaf Irish cream in I1. Where to search for it? Lookup arrays. Where to search for decaf Irish cream? Where to search for that lookup value? Over here. comma. What is the return array? Suppose I choose this data as the return array and I'll go with an exact match, providing 0 there. It will give me the entire data corresponding to that product. You see, this entire row has come up. So I can retrieve the entire data by providing the return array from B2 to E14. Perfect. But that's not my requirement here. The return array is not the entire data. The return array is a data from a specific quarter, right? So what to do over here, in the place of return array, the place where it is expecting me to provide the return array details, I will write another XLOOKUP function. Okay, so after you have gone vertically down and identified the product, now move horizontally across to identify the quarter, isn't it? So the next lookup value is search for this quarter where in the list of quarters provided here. So this is my lookup array now. It is supposed to search for the quarter, the lookup value in this place, in the first row where I have the list of quarters, and return what? Of course, the data corresponding to the quarter, right? And if not found, that argument I'm skipping, I want to go with an exact match. So now I will get exactly what I'm looking for. Suppose I change this to quarter one. See, the number changed to 3406. Suppose I change this to something else, lemon, or if I change it to mocha. So it is 4523. Under mocha, if I change it to Q3. So for mocha, Q3, it is 4550. Right? So if I have to do it manually, this is how I do it. But I want to take the help of ChatGPT. What to do? We've already given the file as input. Go to the X lookup, two-way lookup sheet, X lookup. Sheet in the workbook. And write a formula using XLOOKUP function to get the data for the product and the quarter mentioned in I1 and I2 respectively. I1 and I2 cells respectively. Let's see if this instruction is clear enough or not. Okay, it's saying this particular worksheet, it identified the worksheet, it is structured like this. Column A is the product. Column B to E, we have Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 values. Cell I1 is where we are going to mention the product to look up. Cell I2 is where we will mention the quarter to look up. So we need to fetch the correct value for that product for that quarter using XLOOKUP. So it interpreted my question correctly. And now you see it has given me the formula. Put this formula in cell I3 wherever you want the result. So two-way lookup formula is given to me. Look at that beautifully. In the place of the return array, it has written another lookup function just like the one I showed you, and it is going to fetch me the data. So first it will look up for the correct whatever column and then the row or row column. Now let me copy this and maybe paste it over here. And look at that. See, once I pasted it over there, you can see it is giving me the correct answer. Just like what I got by writing the formula manually, same thing I got by taking the help from ChatGPT. Now, can it get us the same using index and match? Look at that. So, because it is a two-way thing, right? It has to search for the particular product and then it has to search for the specific quarter and get the data at the intersection of the product and the quarter, isn't it? So, index function, what is the syntax? Array. Array is the return array, as I told you. And then row number, and then the column number, right? The syntax is array, which is your return array, then the row number and the column number. So it is using match function to identify the correct row, and it is using the match function to identify the correct column, and then it is going to fetch the data. So let me paste it over here. Look at that. So how is this going to work? It is returning the data from B2 all the way to E. It has taken 100 rows by default. So it is returning this data corresponding to this particular row. What is the row? Row number 3. Mocha is in the third row. So it is matching Mocha here and identifying that it is in the third position. This is your row number. And what's the column number? Column number is 3. So I2 is there. Whatever is mentioned in I2, it has to identify it from B1 to E1. See that beautifully, B1 to E1. And over here, it is in the third place. Q3 is in the third place, 3. Right? And therefore, I got the correct result. So, however you want, as long as your prompt is clear for ChatGPT to understand the question that you're giving. As long as your prompt is clear, it will be able to perform the task for you. Okay, so we have done this using exact match. All of this I have done using exact match. Similarly, even if you have to get data using something called as approximate match, it will work. For example, so let's say marks. Okay, let us say there is a school and an exam is conducted, and the marks that students might have secured in each subject is entered here. Let's say somebody secured 97 in a particular subject, somebody got 54, somebody got 67. Like that, imagine that there are many children, there are many students in the class, and the teacher has the list of marks that they have secured in a particular subject. Now, the teacher is supposed to give them a grade based on the marks that they have scored. Imagine in one class there could be n number of students. Imagine there are 60 students, and they are taking up at least 5 to 6 subjects. So maths teacher has uploaded the marks. Maybe the science teacher has uploaded the marks. Maybe the English teacher has uploaded the marks. The Hindi teacher has uploaded the marks. So on and so forth. Now the class teacher has to give them a grade for each subject based on the marks that they have secured. Right? If the teacher has to manually look at the score and then give a grade, it will take a lot of time. So what could the teacher do is create a reference table. Okay, we'll create a reference table where we will give the marks, okay, and the grade. So the marks I will provide as both, just for you, for clarity's sake, okay. I will give the low and the high range, okay. So let's say if they're scoring anywhere from 0 to 34, then it is F. The person has not fared, right? Well and failed. So 35 to will keep 50, will give grade D. 51 to let's say 65 will give C. 66 to 75, let us give B. 76 to 80 or 90, let's say we're going to give A. 90 and above. So that is up to 100, right? Let's say we're going to give A plus. So this is my reference table that I have created. Okay, now I need to use a lookup function to reference this table and give a grade to the children based on the marks that they have secured. Okay, now in this case, no, you cannot use the match mode as 0. Match mode 0 means you're going with an exact match. So far, that is what I have used. We can't go with match mode 0 in this case because exact match will not be found. If 97 is the score, I don't have 97 over here. I don't have 97 there. So when I look for 97 with an exact match, it will say I can't find 97. But when I say 97, it falls in this range, right? 90 and above. And this student has to get A plus. 54. Exactly 54 is not present. But if someone secured 54, what is the grade you might want to give them? It falls in this range, so you will give grade C. So X lookup. This is my lookup value to search for this score where in this column. Search for the score over here. Why am I not selecting the higher end? Not required. Only the lower end you will select. Return array is the grade. Return array is the grade. If not found, I will skip it. But match mode is supposed to be approximate match, not zero. So far in all the formulas, I gave zero. ChatGPT also used zero. But here zero will not help. I want exact match or the next smaller item. Right? If 97 is not there, you have to get the nearest smaller item, that is 90, and give that person A plus. If 54 is not there, you have to get the nearest smaller item, which is 51, and give the grade as C. 67 is not here. So you get the nearest smaller item. What is the nearest smaller item to 67? See, 0 is also small. 35 is small. 51 is small. 66 is small. But which smaller one? The nearest, the next smaller item, the nearest smaller item is 66. So the student should get B. So here I must give -1. -1. And you can see the grades are done. So the teacher will, what is the effort teacher is putting in? Writing one simple formula, referencing a table. This is a one-time activity. This is a one-time activity to create the table. Once the respective subject teachers have entered the marks, the teacher has to simply run this formula to get the grade for all the children, to give them a grade. Right? It becomes that easy. Now, let's see if ChatGPT can do it the same way for us. So I think I'll save this and upload this file into ChatGPT. Go to marks sheet and give a grade based on the marks. Use the table from, I need to know, G1 to I7. G1 to I7 as the reference. Use XLOOKUP function. Okay, go to the marks sheet, right, worksheet, and give a grade, which is column B, based on the marks in column A, and use the table from, or maybe it's not a table exactly, use the range of values, right? Use the data, I will say, from G1 to I7 as the reference. Use XLOOKUP function for this purpose. Let's see whether this instruction is clear enough for ChatGPT to understand now. That's why, okay. Mark sheet is not there. Does not contain the mark sheet. Okay, wait a minute. So it has mark sheet, no? Could not understand that sheet exists. Let me do one thing. Let me just save as marks. Okay, and delete all the other ones which are confusing it. Okay, now let me try one more time. Okay, I think we are running out of time. Just let me. Okay, now it managed. Column A has student marks, column B is grade that is supposed to be filled. This is low, minimum marks, this is high, maximum marks, and the grade is there. And this will be your XLOOKUP formula. Let me copy it, paste it over here. Look at the reference, it's referencing this data, it's referencing this column, the lookup array, and this is my return array. And here there's a little problem if you notice. What is the problem with this formula? It has taken the range lookup, the match mode, as +1. So if the match mode is +1, what will happen? It will go for an exact match or the next larger item, right? It is going for an exact match or the next larger item because this is 1. And when it says larger item, 97 is not there. And greater than 97, we don't have anything, right? So there's a problem here. Understood where the human intervention is required. It came up with the formula perfectly fine, but it's going with the wrong match mode. And if I do this, there'll be chaos. All students will come back running. What is going on, right? Why did someone getting 29? Why is that not marked as fail? Why did that person get D? Right? That there's going to be utter chaos amongst the students. So this should be -1. Understood? So you need to either mention give it in the prompt in a much more detailed manner, saying use the match mode as -1, or let ChatGPT take the call and give you the formula, and later you tweak the formula. So here ChatGPT took +1. It is not 100% reliable, is what I'm trying to tell you. That is where there is so much, I think, panic in the market, right? That AI will replace us. It will take away all the jobs. No, that is not going to happen. Because end of the day, human intelligence is necessary to verify whether what the AI is doing, artificial intelligence is doing, is correct or not. The human element or the human aspect can never be taken out. So no one is going to lose the job to AI. But if you don't upskill yourself in a way that you start incorporating AI into your job, there the problem will come. So if you are able to incorporate AI into your existing job role, your job is safe. If you do not incorporate AI, that would be a problem. But AI is not here to replace the human. See, simple example, no? If we left it to AI, it would have given marked even the failed students as pass, isn't it? And people who have secured above 90, it doesn't even know what to do with them. So once we make the correction, we got the correct grades. Okay, I hope it is clear. I hope it was informative. So tomorrow, I am planning on covering macros. Um, so I'll show you how macros are created in Excel, and then we will see how we generate them, the scripts for macros using ChatGPT. So tomorrow, mostly the agenda will be to work around with macros. Thank you all. That's it from my side for today. I hope it was informative. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you. We can use index and match instead of XLOOKUP twice for fetching Q1 to Q4 YouTube chatbot message. Yes, yes, you can use index and match over there also. Yes, yes. Whoever asked it, it is possible. See, I did that. I think I showed it to you, right? With index and match also I generated, right? Yes, yes. So this was the question. No, instead of using XLOOKUP as a two-way lookup, instead of using XLOOKUP as a two-way lookup, could we do this using index and match? So here you have the answer that yes, it can be done using index and match as well. Correct? Yeah, I think that is answered. All right. Yeah, thank you.